Hey everyone, Eric here. In this video, we're checking out the Pardner from Old Blood Noise Endeavors. The Pardner is a fuzz pedal with a unique feature, and that's an effects loop that you can choose where in the signal it goes. Before we jump into the pedal, let's go over the signal chain. This is my Mustang build. These are Fralin split blade pickups, so they are humbucking pickups. We're going straight into the Pardner, and right now we're just going straight out to the Boss Katana set pretty clean. So up on the top right, we have fuzz volume. That's very self-explanatory. If you turn it down, you're not going to get anything. If you turn it up, you're going to get louder. Now we also have a 2-band EQ with bass and treble. So if they're in the middle, we're going to get a pretty flat response. Now if we want less bass, we can turn the bass control down. And then opposite, if we want more bass, we can turn it up. And then same thing goes with the treble control. If we want less treble, we can turn it down. And then if we want more treble, of course we can turn it up. So on the bottom here, we have filter and intensity controls. Filter is going to set the amount of gain as well as kind of slightly change the voice of the pedal as we turn it up. So if we turn it down, this is the least amount of fuzz that we can get. And then we can start to turn it up to increase the fuzz. When we get into higher filter settings, we actually have a little bit more bass come into the sound as well. Moving on to the intensity control, this is, as Old Blood puts it, a weird one. Now, the intensity controls the overall like sizzly, spitty, kind of mid-range aggressiveness of the fuzz, but it's also very interactive and kind of dependent on how obvious the change is with the other knob positions. Now let's go ahead and go from low to high on the intensity control to hear what it does. Now we have two different voices for our fuzz, accessible through the voice toggle right here. Thus far, we've been hearing the fuzzy position, but we have also a synthy position. So it's gonna turn the fuzz from a more traditional style fuzz into a more glitchy, more aggressive, kind of odd style fuzz. Now let's go ahead and hear how that sounds on just like some single note lines. So this brings us to the other significant portion of the Pardner, and that is the loop that it has and how we can kind of manipulate our sound going into it and place it wherever we want. So we can turn the loop on independent of the actual fuzz with this foot switch over here, the lasso foot switch. Again, fuzz can be on without the loop. And then the loop can be on without the fuzz. So right now the boss octave is placed in the loop or the lasso of the Pardner. Now the lasso portion of the Pardner gives us a few different controls. Down here on the bottom, we have the lasso gain. At minimum, we're getting no boost or cut to our signal. So if I turn the octave off and the lasso off, we get our clean signal. And then if we turn the lasso on, maybe just a tiny bit of volume increase right there. From here, we can actually start to turn our gain for the lasso up. This is what it sounds like, just minimum gain. So let's go ahead and turn the gain up. And that's only with the control up at like maybe 30% or so. So let's go ahead and go up from there. But in order to do that, we actually have to utilize the top control, which is the lasso volume. So as we turn the gain up, everything's gonna get louder, so we can decrease the overall volume to kind of clean things up or, you know, just fine tune it however you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick on the lasso. Yeah, that's really loud right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the volume down, which is the top control over here on the left. Now from here, again, we can turn the gain up just to hear how that sounds. Now let's go ahead and cover our position toggle for the lasso. This is over here on the right-hand side. It's the top toggle, and we have 3 positions on this toggle. And what this toggle is doing is allowing us to place the lasso in different spots in our signal chain and route it different ways. Now in the middle position, we have para, and that stands for parallel, which is running our effects loop or lasso in parallel with the fuzz. So our signal goes into the Pardner, and then it gets split. One side goes through the fuzz, one side goes through the lasso, and then they combine on the output. If we want, we can choose to run the lasso before the fuzz or after the fuzz as well. So we can have series configurations or parallel. On the left-hand side, we're putting the lasso first, which is taking whatever's in the effects loop and putting it before the fuzz. So let's hear how that sounds. This is just the fuzz sound right here. Now let's blend in some of that lasso. So this is the parallel path. Let's go ahead and hear how it sounds putting the lasso first. You can hear that there's quite a bit of difference in the sounds of parallel and putting the lasso first. Now we can choose to put the lasso after the fuzz or put the fuzz first if we switch over to the right position on the lasso toggle. And then another cool feature is we can actually use the lasso as a boost alongside the fuzz. So if we turn our pedals off in the lasso, we're just running our signal through the loop, and we can apply that gain circuit and the volume, and we can route it however we want. So let's start with the parallel, and here is just the fuzz side. Now let's go ahead and turn the lasso on. Now we can just turn the gain up even more. And again, we're running the lasso parallel with the fuzz. So we can choose to put the lasso first, which is going to take our lasso with all the gain and all the volume that we have set, and it's going to run that before the fuzz. So let's go ahead and hear how that sounds. You can hear it's getting squealy because we're pushing so much gain and so much volume into the front of that fuzz. Now let's go ahead and hear how it sounds when we put the lasso after. So we'll start with the lasso first, and then we'll switch over to the fuzz first. Now I've got my Squier Classic Vibe Precision Bass plugged into the Pardner, same effects loop signal chain, which is the Boss octave, same amp, same settings, and I wanted to dial in some sounds and see how this sounds on bass. So this is what it sounds like with just the bass going into the fuzz right now. So I've got the filter all the way up, the bass kind of pushed, and the trebles at noon, intensity is at like 60%. Now let's go ahead and kick on the octave and the lasso. We have the gain at minimum, volume at maximum, so we're getting a clean signal with a lot of volume going into it. And our lasso is set at the end, so the fuzz is first. Let's hear how that sounds. Now let's go ahead and hear how it sounds before the fuzz. So those two sounds were running the lasso or the effects loop before or after the fuzz, so in series. Now let's go ahead and hear how it sounds when we run the lasso parallel to the fuzz. So another maybe more mild use of the lasso would be to turn the effects off in the lasso and use it as a clean blend for the fuzz. So here's our fuzz sound. And if we turn the lasso volume all the way down, turn on the lasso, now because we've turned off the effects in the loop, we're going to be able to blend in just dry signal into parallel with the fuzz. So essentially giving us dry blend. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Pardner from Old Blood Noise Endeavors. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you want to learn more about the Pardner or purchase it, I'm going to leave links in the description below. And while you're down there, you can check out the other links I have, which are affiliate links. I have links to Sweetwater, Reverb, and Amazon. Those save you time by taking you directly to the site. They don't cost you anything extra, and anything you buy through those helps support the channel. And I appreciate it if you use those. So I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're staying safe. And most of all, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.